This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
Woo! You now rocking with One Nation Radio. Welcome to the program. James Boy, Richard Latta, and a couple friends with the show for your wrestling needs. Shopping out the rest of the IWC. We gon' tell her how it is. We gon' shoot from the hip. If they putting out trash, we gon' rip from the bits. Make sure that you tweet us and you rate the shows. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Now let's get it on the road. Hey. One Nation Sports. One Nation Sports. One Nation Sports.
Welcome to One Nation Radio. And now here are your hosts, Rich Latta and James Boyd. Thank you for listening.
SocialSuplex.com. BWB, what's up?
This is Wale, and this is One Nation Radio. You already know.
Welcome to the November 2nd edition of One Nation Radio. James, what's going on, man?
Not too much. Just, I don't know, man. Like, what more do you want from me?
Oh man, Tyrese on Instagram tripping again. We will actually get to that in a moment. But first, I want to introduce our guest joining us today from SocialSuplex.com. Our boy, our fellow member of the BWB. You may hear it in the intro, Jeremy Donovan. Jeremy, what's up, man?
Not much, my guy. Thanks for having me back.
Always, man. Yeah, so back to this Tyrese and Rock. I didn't even anticipate on talking about this today, but James reminded me. Tyrese has decided to pick a war with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Not up there with that. That's about as bad a decision as it was to fight Ving Rhames and Baby Boy, or to have like.
Hold on. To be fair, Jody did not square off with Ving Rhames. Or
Correct.
His name was in the
movie. All right. He decided to disrespect that man. He
snuck that man.
Yes, he tried to disrespect that man, and as he found out, disrespect will not be tolerated from Ving Rhames. And also, disrespect will not be tolerated by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And also, James, this man was crying on Instagram. Can you please tell these people what's going on with this man?
Okay, so I was talking to somebody about this earlier today, and it would appear, you have to throw out allegedly, and it would appear that if you were to follow, the Tyrese and Rock thing over the last month or so, was that a month ago?
Yeah, it's been about a month. Yeah,
about a month when he started having falling out over the Rock, taking that spinoff from that Hobbs spinoff for Fast and Furious, that. You total all up where, Tyrese is especially mad at The Rock about him taking the spinoff because that will move the production for the next Fast and Furious sequel to push the production back a year.
Right.
So, you're like, okay, that's weird that he's that upset. I don't hear Vin Diesel super upset seeing that Vin Diesel's actually, him and Paul Walker were the two stars of the thing, and then Rock showed up, and then, more sales, more ticket sales. But, you hear that and you're like, okay, that's odd. Obviously, people like Tyrese, but, people love The Rock, right? So it's like,
Don't go to war and run your money right.
Right, no one's going to be upset about seeing more Fast and the Furious movies at this point, right? We might get to 30 of these things before it's all said and done. Before the time Rock and Vin Diesel can't get over with supplements, if you will. So,
I believe Tyrese was accusing Rock of being chemically enhanced as well.
I mean, most people don't have their best bodies in their 40s, but that's whatever.
Yeah.
Especially with Rock was saying that he was once a pro athlete. You would think, when he was
younger.
Yeah, you would think in your 20s you would look closer you look more like Adrian Peterson than when you're 40 and have no hair. But whatever, besides the point. So move forward, and you start seeing Tyrese saying stuff, actually making accusations about The Rock being on PEDs and whatever else. And then I think a couple days ago or something like that, or sometime this week earlier, he mentioned that like if The Rock shows up for the next Fast and Furious sequel, I'm just not going to sign off on it. I want nothing to do with it. So next thing you know, you look up and you hear about Tyrese hasn't seen his daughter in 2 months, and you're like, damn, that sucks. And then yesterday, was that yesterday or today? I can't remember already.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, yesterday, internet happens fast, boy.
Tell you.
Fast. He comes out and he does his video and he's just crying and he's like, I just want my baby. I just want my baby. And it's for me, like, because I'm an asshole, or I guess we're all assholes. At one end, like literally in like a minute 15, minute 20 video, I go from the range of what is this to damn, I feel bad for this dude to oh my god, I feel bad for this dude, but this is hilarious. And like if I was there, I would be dying because like you can't laugh in that man's face when he's like putting his heart out like that. But I ain't in front of his face, so I'm over here screaming. So he's over here and he says, "I just want my baby. Is this is this illegal? What I do? I'm not doing anything illegal. Is recording this video? Is this illegal, or am I protected by the First Amendment?" And he says it kind of funny. So then he continues on. He's like, I want to see my baby, but it's something the courtroom. It has to be handled in the courtroom, and they got me out here paying $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me? I lost it.
Jeremy, did you happen to catch this?
Yes, I did, and I saw that also the end clip too that you guys put in the BWB group with Ryan Sutton.
Unbelievable. Yeah, man. So
yeah, I've been following this whole Rock and Tyrese thing, and as a fan of the Fast and Furious series, personally, I think The Rock, has been a great addition. Kind of brought new life to that franchise.
Look at the ticket sale. Look at the tickets.
Right.
Like, look at the box office when he showed up. Like, there were the first four movies? The first four movies, and then there's when he shows up, and then all of a sudden it becomes like a summer blockbuster that can gross $1 billion.
Right. And so if I'm Tyrese, I'd be happy that The Rock's adding more story to this franchise and open up possibilities of him being involved in a spinoff and keeping these movies going, like you joked, like going to Fast 30. So if I was him, I'd be happy that there's more interest into the franchise and in the story. So
look, man,
I don't get his whole hate against The Rock and spinoff.
We almost saw this in basketball where Andre Iguodala almost ruined the money. And this is what Tyrese is attempting to do. He's attempting to ruin the money. The problem is his deal is he doesn't have any money. And I guess that's why he's attempting to ruin the money.
That's where we're getting at. That's where I was getting at with my theory, or that's what's going along in the alleged circles of what people are going on is he was counting on that production starting so he can get that money rolling in, because like you said, $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me?
Yes.
That's that tax.
The subtractions will add up.
Yeah. So it might be a situation where it might be a situation where hammer time, real talk, real hammer time. 30 cars, 30 clothes, broke.
Unbelievable.
Like, it might be that situation.
All right, man. I guess in transition, there ain't no real smooth transition from Tyrese talking about.
No, here's one. I hope Tyrese gets some help. All jokes aside, I really hope Tyrese does get some help because it seems like he's really stressing out.
Yeah,
he's in a bad spot.
Yeah, if he going on the internet crying like that, after the memes is done, that man's still hurt. So hopefully he solves whatever is going on with everything with that. But something else that needs to get solved is the WWE Championship. This has obviously been, the bane of my existence on this podcast all summer for the last 6 months, ever since WWE decided they wanted some rupees. But Jinder Mahal will be putting the WWE Championship on the line in the Manchester Arena for next week's episode of SmackDown, and he'll be taking on AJ Styles. Apparently, WWE came out on Twitter, or Shane McMahon today, and he was like, due to the Jinder Mahal's vicious attack on AJ Styles, he will defend the WWE Championship against AJ this Tuesday in Manchester, United Kingdom on SmackDown Live. Now, it's important to note that whenever they are over in England, these are going to be tape shows. AJ's, last 2 weeks whooped on both of the Singh brothers, and, they've been putting this match out there, to give SmackDown some type of title program, because obviously, Brock Lesnar ain't showing up to make things hot in these streets. But yeah, man, what do you guys think of WWE announcing this match for next week?
Well, there's got to be, there's a couple different reasons why they could have, decided to, announce this match kind of last minute and change their plans of having AJ face Rusev for the last SmackDown spot. There's a possibility, and we all listen to Dave Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer Radio and read the newsletter, and he's been talking, last month, the possibility that Jinder is hurt, that he has a shoulder injury because he's, reduced in size and probably hasn't been lifting more. So that could be a reason that last month he really hasn't wrestled on TV or done anything physical except for this past Tuesday when he attacked AJ. There's also the possibility maybe he failed a wellness test, and they need to get the belt off of him real quick and do AJ versus Brock at Survivor Series. Or they just want to continue to, give us a big middle finger and have Jinder beat another one of the best wrestlers on the roster that he has no business stepping in the ring with and beating.
James, you look shocked.
Yeah, man.
Like yeah.
I didn't even think about it could possibly be a wellness violation until he just brought that. I was like, wait, hold on, wait, what? And I was like, holy shit. Well, if there's anybody that would look like a wellness violation, it'd be him. So if he had one, that makes all the sense in the world. But I figured, if he was gonna get popped for that would have happened by now. Wow.
Yeah. Maybe something finally got, something he was taking. Maybe it ended up on the wellness policy, or something changed, or whatever he was taking got busted or somehow, and maybe he failed a test, and they're like, oh, we gotta get the title off of him real quick and get him suspended.
Now, my question is this: if he's suspended, does he get the belt back the second he comes back?
I don't think so.
I mean, if they didn't give it right back to Roman Reigns, well, I take that back, because with Jinder Mahal,
no, you're right. They didn't give the belt back to Roman Reigns. You're right. They didn't give the belt back to Roman Reigns immediately. They haven't yet, but they did damn sure have that man still main event WrestleMania.
Correct.
Again.
Correct. And with Jinder, we've had to throw out all historical precedent anyway. So I don't even know what's the use of even speculating.
Yeah,
sure.
Maybe,
why not? He could get the belt back.
Or maybe they drop him down into the United States Championship picture, or give him some other kind of program to work that's still big, but not the WWE Championship picture.
Yeah, and I thought there could be a situation where also, WWE lost their minds over the Halloween and World Series SmackDown rating, and they're putting this match on TV, and if they know that these results are going to get out, if they do a title change, they know people will tune in to see it. I will, for sure. But I think this could work the other way, too, because who wants to tune in and watch AJ Styles lose to Jinder Mahal? Anyone? Anyone on this show?
Nope.
Nah.
No,
not me.
We're not who they're trying to please.
I will find anything else to watch that night than freaking Jinder Mahal pinning AJ Styles down to the mat.
Yeah, they've already done it once this year, so doing it again, that would just mess my pressure, and I don't have pressure. So, yeah. So there, as Jeremy mentioned, there was a AJ Styles versus Rusev match planned. No word on if that still may happen. It was rumored to, has been announced as a street fight But I guess we just have to see how it plays out. I'm definitely rooting for AJ Styles, who is finally getting his one-on-one rematch for the WWE Championship that's been long overdue since January. Unbelievable.
And, also another possibility I think what could also happen is just they do end up doing like a DQ finish with the Singh brothers coming in, and
that would suck.
All three of them just jump AJ again, and then Shane just gives AJ the SmackDown spot, and then promises the title match after Survivor Series.
So Shane McMahon doing more making up to AJ Styles, huh? Why is it when a Big Four show comes up, AJ Styles has to get stuck with Shane McMahon in some capacity? Somehow, Shane McMahon has.
He's a new tax now.
Yes.
You want to enjoy AJ Styles? You're going to install a Shane McMahon tax.
Good God. Oh man. So speaking of McMahon's, let's talk about Monday Night Raw. Stephanie McMahon made her long, I don't know if awaited return is the correct word, but she is back and she is beating fools down on the mic as normal and chopping Kurt Angle down and just killing him. What did you guys make of the return of Stephanie McMahon?
Well, for me, go ahead, James.
No, you go ahead. You're the guest. I'm sorry.
It's all right. For me, I was just a big groan as soon as her music hit and she came out and parted the Raw roster like the Red Sea and made her grand return to Raw, and I was immediately all right. She's about to slap Kurt Angle, and who else can get slapped tonight? So don't get me wrong, Stephanie's a great heel and she does do a great job of being the antagonist, but they go a little over the top of pushing her and making her the top heel of the brand, and it kind of just undercuts everybody else on the show.
She doesn't sell.
Right.
Rarely
we have to wait one time a year for her to get her comeuppance at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
where she gets hit accidentally.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
James?
I'm still waiting for Sasha to get her heat back after she cut her down and said, "I'm the real boss here." I'm still waiting for Bayley to get anything back after she basically ruined her career. with the whole you're a good girl, Bayley, and the whole thing with Charlotte. Just
give the belt
whatever
back and all that shit.
And then the whole belt thing, we were like, look, you're the good person. You're this and the third. You're the bright shining example of what it is to be good, and you won this title under ill-gotten means. Don't you want to really earn it? And then Bayley goes, you know what? I should give this title back, but hell no. So yeah, that was the beginning and the end for her.
Yeah.
Now she's winning title shots, getting injured, coming back, and then taking the pin in a 5-woman 5-way. So what the fuck? Yeah, I thought it was weird that she just came out and they didn't announce it. Nothing. They could have announced it a week ahead of time. They could have said, Stephanie's coming in for talk about SmackDown, or sorry, to talk about Survivor Series. They could have did earlier a week ago, and then done the same Shane invasion angle hashtag under siege, and then Stephanie shows up and do the same exact thing, and then you could have got a rating out of it. She just shows up randomly, and if I'm a person that's not watching Raw at the time, if I find out Stephanie should coming up open up the show, I'm like, oh, okay, she's gonna do some shit where she cuts somebody down and then she's gonna leave and then it's gonna set the tone for the rest of the show. I'm not watching. That's me personally. I don't see how somebody can see her trending on Twitter and then to say I'm going to tune in after she's already cut the opening segment as opposed to coming in at 9 or 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to me. I don't know. But she did. Stephanie came out and did her thing, and so the thing is she's the best and the worst at the same time. She comes out, gets the crowd excited that she the crowd grows originally. And then when she comes out, she gets the crowd fired up to be there for opening of Monday Night Raw. And then it's back to business, back to burying, back to cutting down, back to keeping people down, back to cooling jets. I just whatever.
Gotta make sure man's not hot.
Yes, make sure man's not hot. Yes.
And then the thing for me is like, okay, let's say, Angle, succeeds and wins and has a good showing at Survivor Series. She said they have to they have to annihilate or something like that. The word was
right. She said you want complete annihilation.
Yeah. So
what is this, Mortal Kombat?
So I'm assuming what's gonna happen is this was gonna start their angle. They win, Raw wins, is not good enough. Triple H comes in, Angle, Triple H, WrestleMania 34.
Good
cool.
God.
Great.
Be
awesome.
there.
Look,
Yeah.
Combined 96 years old in the ring with those guys. Let's see. What else did they have? She started making matches. Or, excuse me, no, she didn't. They started announcing matches. They announced Seth Rollins and Kane, Finn Balor, Cesaro, Bayley, Alicia Fox. But as we saw, Captain Alicia was not about to compete. She came out there with the hat on. Was hilarious. I love Alicia Fox. She's so entertaining. The captain thing is good for her because, we ultimately know it doesn't, mean anything. So, it's give her something to do with it. If Sasha Banks was the captain, that's a little too, goofy for her. So, Alicia Fox will immerse herself in the goofiness. So, I can deal with that. She announced the returning Nia Jax as her replacement. And Nia came out there and gave Bayley the business and busted out this cannonball move in the middle of the ring. Also, proving Nia Jax, force to be reckoned with. What you guys think about this match?
No, match it was okay. It just kind of sucks to see Bayley just keep getting just wrecked every week. When you think there's a chance that they might do something right to resurrect her, they just knock her right back down. I mean, I'm happy that Nia Jax is, back and getting the rub, but at the same time, it's man, they had a superstar in Bayley handed on a silver platter, and they just keep slapping the platter out of our hands over and over and over again.
James?
Yeah, okay, so I remember the first season of Master of None, where it's actually the episode that I like the episode me you talked about a lot about second generation Americans.
Yeah.
And how they interact with their parents and the sacrifices their parents made and just to get put off with I'll do it later and then you get okay. It's like I had to kill my in the story I had to kill my pet chicken for you. That's how I survived. You don't know all the sorrow I've dealt with to get here. Anyway, but anyway, the beginning of that episode, Aziz and his friend are walking out of from seeing I guess a Marvel MCU movie, which is funny because I think me and Jeremy are going to go to see one of them on Saturday. But
yeah.
He as he's walking out, he's talking about how much he enjoyed the movie. He's like, "Yeah, I liked it. It was great. It was great. He's like, "I think that was, it was a really great movie. I think that was the 9th best Marvel movie." So, with me with the whole Bayley and Nia thing, yeah, I thought it was a really good match. I thought it was a good match. I think that was the 9th best match they've had. They've had a bunch of matches. Yeah, they, I think I said something along the lines. I was joking. They've had more matches than Sting and Flair, both of them. But yeah, it was a good match. The same thing as Jeremy said. I think they. It's a weird thing where they keep beating on the same people, or they always wrestle each other, and then you get kind of mixed up on the power rankings on what they're trying to do based on the given week, and then they've been doing this yo-yo thing with Nia for so long. And it's all right, it maybe it's a situation where they're now about to, portray it as a race to the top or a race towards who gets the next title shot between her and Asuka. That could be interesting. I would, if I were them, I would build a feud. I would build, Asuka to her second feud or whatever. Not her first feud to be Nia, her second one, and then you do Asuka versus whoever the champion is at the time, probably Alexa. But we'll see what goes on with this. Like I think Bayley's dead now. Like I don't even like if they try again, I'm probably gonna be like, why?
Wow, unbelievable. Especially coming from James, who was a grown ass man that owns a Bayley shirt.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah, something else real quick too about the whole like Raw, the whole Survivor Series women's team. Alicia's out here, one by one trying to pick her team. I'm like, there's not that many women on the Raw roster. Nope. She literally has to pick everybody,
especially with them firing people.
Right, Emma's gone. Summer Rae is gone. Paige has not been brought back on TV yet. Like,
and they say if she comes back, she'll be on SmackDown.
Right. So it's like she doesn't have much. Like she has to pretty much pick everybody that's there.
And then like
it's pretty much true. Like it's gonna be funny watching them like dig up Dana Brooke out of the she's been put into.
And shortly after Nia Jax, walked back to the locker room, we had the return of Samoa Joe, who was promptly given a hero's welcome, and maybe they make him a badass babyface or something. Nope, they make him turn heel on the crowd immediately, but he did it so well. He's like,
It reminded me of Seth Rollins last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's earned them. I think it's one of these situations, Pritchard talks about this all the time, like when people come back sometimes, or Vince just has like a certain image of somebody, and he doesn't think that certain people will get the crowd reaction that they get. And I think going into this return, that they're like, we've been pushing Joe as a heel. These people are not going to, they're not going to pop for him. He's going to get booed. He's going to get heel reaction. And then next thing you know, that music hits, and we're all losing our minds. And Vince is probably back there like, damn it, pal.
But the thing that always kills me is like,
he'll expect people to cheer Roman though.
Yeah, right. Like the thing with
the
me
wrong Samoan Joe.
Yes.
The thing that always kills me is like that always is like literally just I don't understand is they don't ever learn or they rarely or they're very slow to learn lessons. Very, very slow. And it's like given that all the times you've been with this company, Vince, that once a guy that was in a prominent role gets hurt and comes back, unless they were the drizzling shits that was over pushed, they're going to come back and they're going to get a hero's welcome more or less. And granted, he wasn't gone as long as Seth. He was gone for 2 months?
Yeah, we haven't seen him since SummerSlam essentially.
Yeah. Maybe that was the thing they assumed, maybe they assumed like they wouldn't get that big of a welcome back type of thing. But, given that Raw is 3 hours long, like any new person that comes out and can like mix up the monotony of having to see feuds over paint. Uh-huh. You're going to get cheered. Oh my God! Like we can get this out of the way. Like we can get Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor. Thank God. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for coming back, Joe, so I can boo you again. Like maybe that. But Vince doesn't see it as that, so he cuts the promo. And he's like, oh, okay, well, no, he's back to where he was.
No one missed me. No one checked in on me. I believe Rusev cut the same promo when he came back as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, more or less. Except Joe did it better because Joe's a better promo. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a really good Intercontinental Championship match with The Miz and Matt Hardy. Wouldn't have expected that there, but these guys, I think they tore the house down personally. And to me, it further cements my claim that I've been on the record. The Miz has been the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, and he will continue to do as such. The more he passes these guys on the days count, and he has the reigns, and he has the moments, and the promos, and the matches. And Matt Hardy's moonsaulting and shit? What's going on out here, man?
Well, without Jeff, Matt has to find a way to, make sure he stays over and gets, pushed somewhat on the card. So he got to go out there and just do whatever.
Be a spot monkey. They said he pretty much dropped all the broken stuff.
Yeah. Like,
He's still doing delete, though.
He better always do delete.
It's weird to watch, like, the Hardys now, because obviously, like, they're older, but, like, how old is, like, the thing that's always shocking me, and, like, okay, so I remember, like, 2 or 3 years ago, like, right before Brian Urlacher retired, he had got a pick six, intercepted the ball, ran it back, and it was, like, the slowest I've ever seen that man move. It was, like, shocking to see, like, the witness that kind of freak athlete that dude was, where, like, he was, like, 250 plus pounds and ran like a deer. And, like, to see him just, like his knees needed, like, shots of WD-40 on creaky knees.
Damn.
Like, watching the Hardys wrestle, it looks like they're in so much pain when they wrestle. It looks like, but they still doing all the, you know, all the high flying stuff, the swanton. Like, I know, granted, like, Jeff, like, he's, like, just killing people, just landing so flatly on people with the swanton. But, like, it looks like they are literally, like, they look like they have to consider everything they do in the ring before they take a bump. Like, it looks so bad. But they keep going through, and I'm like, these dudes look like they must be hurting, or either that or they're selling it so much better because they look so grizzled, they look so pained. But they've had a lot of good matches since they've been back, and you know that one with Matt, I wasn't expecting that because, I mean, I don't know, how will y'all judge that to the matches that Miz was having with Jeff? Because I thought that match was about every bit as good as the ones they were having on Raw.
Yeah,
with Jeff and the Miz, which surprised me because Jeff's always been a better worker.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I mean that match was as solid as the Jeff matches. Yeah, I mean Matt Hardy, he's a great worker, and I think he can be underrated at sometimes because, you know, Jeff usually does have the better matches, and Jeff has always been the one that gets pushed more regardless of which organization they're in. So, you know, it was kind of surprising for some people, but, you know, Matt's always been a great worker, and I think given, you know, the time and the right opponent and, you know, time to shine, that he can, you know, come through in the clutch.
Right. And we know that man's a 10 out of 10 promo waiting to happen. They just won't let it. So,
Right.
Good thing Matt got to kind of show what he was still capable of. We had Asuka absolutely destroy somebody, and I loved every second of it. Spinning back fist, kick to the face, Asuka lock. How did you guys... Is this how it should have been from day one, or was it too much?
No, that's how it should have been from day one. That should have been the pay-per-view match with Emma. Like, especially, well, they probably didn't know they were going to release Emma, but knowing we know now, that definitely should have been how it should have gone down at the pay-per-view. Asuka should have murdered Emma.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just like mind-boggling that we talk about this every so often, where somebody's in NXT. You know, NXT is a smaller audience. It's supposed to be the test place to where, like, almost like the territories where you're in front of 500 to 1,500 people or whatever, like in the old territory days, and you do, you know, and you figure out how to get over, and then you get over, and then when it's time for, you know, NWA or whatever, like whoever has a national TV comes, you already know how to get over because you got over in front of your test audience. So for me, like, when you see all these people, whether it's Bayley or it's Sami Zayn or it's Finn Balor since he came back, or whoever else, or not even Nakamura, where they get over to a ridiculously high level at you know WWE's minor league system, and then they come to the main roster and they always want to do it better and fuck it up. Like it's just really frustrating, and like
they want to show them how to get over.
Yeah. And then the Emma thing, where it's like, okay, so you mean to tell me that you gave this woman 2 matches where she took most of the match from Asuka, and then you fire her? Like, here's an idea. Either don't fire her, or kick her ass and then fire her.
I don't know. Was that supposed to be like a parting gift, or I don't understand the mindset. Like yeah, we're planning on releasing her, so just make her look good in the match. I don't know. I don't see how that's advantageous to WWE, but you know.
I got a question.
Yeah,
I have a question. So we're coming up on the 20th anniversary of the Montreal Screwjob. I have a question.
Yes, which we will be covering in full.
When Vince, huh?
Which we will be covering in full.
Yeah. So my question is this: when Vince told Brett to go negotiate for WCW, and then said he's going to call Bischoff to get him on the line to facilitate that, like, did Vince like go out of his way to make Brett look good when he screwed him out of his fucking title with the screw job, or did he just say "fuck you"? I'm taking my title back. You're not going to take it to You're not going to take it to Nitro and then throw it in the trash like Medusa.
Yes.
Which one? I'm confused.
Yeah. Is it Black Girl Lost or Show the OU for Ice? Which one?
I mean, like, he screwed his like one of his most one of the most loyal people he ever had in his company, and then like. Emma, who they said has been like, got the diva label thrown at her backstage for what, because how dare she, give a fuck about her character, right? Like, they let her beat the brand new star coming into the territory. It's like, I don't understand. Just beat the hell out of her and then fire her, or don't fire her.
Right.
Like,
I don't see much wiggle room for. Yeah, but moving on from that. Not Paul Heyman. Daniel Bryan showed up backstage with Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle promptly begins losing his mind, like, they're here, everybody get on alert. He had the walkie-talkie. Personally, I'm wondering why Angle was that afraid. Angle is a shooter, for one, and then he realized Daniel Bryan was by himself. So, Bryan goes there to basically try to make amends for last week when he clearly, he said he didn't know what was going on, and... all that, blah, 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 and Angle walks off, and all of a sudden, Bryan's in there just by himself on the phone, and all of a damn sudden, Kane is out here, like, showing up in the dark. Daniel Bryan's having difficulty, calm as hell on the phone, mind you, and all of a sudden, Kane chokeslams Daniel Bryan in the dark, and he takes that, quote-unquote, and y'all can't see this, but bump. Yeah. Why are they playing with my emotions? Why are they beating on Daniel Bryan? Why are they doing this?
Well, I guess, right now their mission is get Kane over. So
oh, my God.
They're going to do whatever it takes to get Kane over. Kill hot babyface Finn Balor. Pin hot babyface Seth Rollins. Kill, hot babyface general manager Daniel Bryan that we all want to see wrestle again. And we know that he can't take a bump, but we're going to have him do this fake bump to make you think that we hurt him so we can get Kane over for a match with Braun Strowman, where Braun Strowman's just going to beat Kane, and then Kane's going to go back and continue his campaign for, mayor of Tennessee.
Yeah. Like, I think I heard somebody say something along the lines of, Kane is going to come in and he is going to do this, one-shot type of deal with a Strowman, and then lose, and then on his way out, basically, he's going to give all those wins back. And I thought to myself, okay, so you're going to beat Finn, you're going to beat probably Ambrose eventually, and you already beat Seth, and then you're going to give those wins all back. I don't know about y'all, but when that happens, if and when that does happen on the back end, nobody's going to give a fuck because it's Kane.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't, like, I get it. Like, you're trying to build them up to have a big monster match with Strowman, and a lot of the appeal with Strowman is to have this, have Godzilla versus Mothra. That's true. But at the expense of the other guys, like, just have them kill geeks. Have them, like,
Matt Hardy and Goldust could have surely stepped in and took those ass whoopings the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Hell, here's one. I mean, to an extent, I can kind of see why they're doing it, because the thought is, like, if you're already a star, it doesn't really hurt you that bad. If you're already made, it doesn't hurt you that bad if you lose. But, like, I would have had that man beat Jason Jordan's ass before I would have had him do all that to defend in the Shield guys.
Yeah, totally agree.
I mean, there's so many guys on the roster that he could beat Apollo Crews and Titus.
Yeah. Like who got Joe? Look what they did with Joe. Joe came back. He whooped Apollo Crews' ass. He whooped Titus O'Neil's ass.
Yeah,
right. I mean, they could have Kane go against Matt Hardy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rekindle it all. Yeah. So they're playing on my emotions with Dan Bryan, having them take fake bumps. It's gonna be real great and real glorious when Dan Bryan is headlining, is challenging Okada for the IWGP title at Wrestle Kingdom 13, or he's wrestling Kenny Omega, one of the two. It's gonna be real great when WWE realize they wasted this man the last 3 years. Finn Balor defeated Cesaro. I missed this match. So, and also the Kane and Seth Rollins match. Can you guys tell me how this went?
Go ahead, James.
Whoa. Oh, I hear a dog in my ear over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I thought it was it was an okay match. It wasn't great. Like when Dean came out, I thought it was unnecessary, but whatever. I guess that is a setup next week with to continue it on. Like I think about why they did certain things, but then I think Braun was off TV, you didn't know he was gonna come back. Joe was off TV, you didn't know he was gonna come back. There's no Roman. You got to put the Shield on TV. I would have preferred them do a promo to set up their match with the Usos, but. Whatever. I mean, they're a tag team, so you can beat either one of those guys more easily. I mean, I don't know. It was okay. I wasn't crazy about it.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, the Finn Balor Cesaro match was really good.
Yes, it was.
Watching that match and seeing Finn win, I'm like, all right, they're making up for last week. They're going to get Finn, back on track, get him hot, after that win from AJ at the pay-per-view. Nope. Kane comes out, tombstone that man on the stage.
Unbelievable. Take that man to hell.
Right. It's like, damn, just when you thought that WWE, they're trying to right the wrong, no, they just made it more wrong.
Jeez. Oh, man. Yeah. Also,
guys, okay, so I just thought about this. It slipped my mind until just now, until you just brought it up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull out something out of this bag. And I want you to tell the crowd what it is. Can y'all see what this is?
That is a yo-yo.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing with Finn Balor and Nia Jax. They've been yo-yoing these boys, yo-yoing their pushes.
Oh my gosh, they're doing the Eiffel Tower and all.
Yeah, walking the dog with him. And literally walking the dog with Finn, getting his ass whooped out there.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of getting ass whooped, Anderson and Gallows got their ass whooped in a trick or street fight. They did the pumpkin on the head spot. They did all the comedy. These guys are so far removed from being one of the baddest tag teams on earth. Trick or street fight every year. How y'all brothers feel about this?
Dude, when that came on, I had went outside to take my dog out. When I came back,
good choice.
And I saw that shit on the TV. I was like, what the hell is this? And I was like, dude, it was just horrible.
So I hope nobody catches me watching
funny.
this.
It wasn't even a funny bad. It's just this bad. What are they doing? You're telling me they couldn't have put on a competitive cruiserweight match in that slot?
Guess not, man. I guess not.
I thought to myself, I can't believe that I'm watching, the Southpaw Regional,
yes.
And first off,
they were Southpaw Regional Wrestling, yes.
In Southpaw Regional Wrestling, aren't Chad Too Bad and the other dude, aren't they beefing? Weren't they in a feud in the season 1?
Yeah, they were in a feud, yeah.
They breaking all sorts of kayfabes, right?
Business.
Yeah, so you got that. Then for me, it's all right, so they're in Southpaw Regional Wrestling, and then you bring out Mr. and Mrs. Claus to wrestle. I'm like, holy shit! We always talk about stuff being bad, but there's another level of bad where just dude, if I'm playing this in front of my friends or whoever else, like they're gonna be like, dude, why do you watch this shit?
This is really
And,
hard
like,
to explain.
And there are a lot of things that I can defend. I can be like, yeah, like performance art. I'm here to watch I'm here to watch these people because they're very talented. And like, if you just drop your disbelief, it's almost like watching, like a 15, 20 minute story that they're telling with fists and feet, right? They're fists and boots. I don't say feet, Steph Curry. But and then you get into the storyline part of it, and when you have like common sense, simple stuff, and then these people are actually human beings, like it makes all the sense in the world. You understand that. But when you throw that out there, you're just like in the words of Kevin Nash, this is so Memphis. This is awful.
Terrible.
And another thing, why was Rhino Mrs. Claus? Wasn't he Dirty Santa on Talking Smack? Shouldn't he?
You know what? That's
Mr.
right.
Claus, and
Yes.
he should have been Mrs. Claus.
Drunk Santa.
Remember how that man was hitting on Renee?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm shocked Dean Ambrose ain't sparked that man for that shit.
Not even that. Look, think of the climate we're in now in 2017 as opposed to 2016
Yes.
around sexual harassment right now.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It was bad. It was bad. It would have happened then, but now it's like, whoa. I remember he said stuff along the lines of like alluding to like something like close to you want to check Santa, you want to look at Santa's sack. Like,
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It was real extra. But at least the whole thing was like, all right, it's inappropriate. Renee stood up for herself, and he's playing drunk Santa.
Yeah.
Now,
Don't do it.
if they did that now, that would have been just like on. They would have put that like how they put the clips up of everything they ever recorded, put it up, and then like people don't watch Raw live or SmackDown live because everything's up on the internet anyway. Like, if they did that now, like that would make the cut. That would have been put in that same file with like the gender race promos against Nakamura. Be like, oh nope, we gonna pin that shit.
This will never see the light of day.
Never happen. Open the showcase, Johnson.
This will not be re-seen. Yeah, so all throughout the night, they were building up Strowman kind of returning, Miz freaking out backstage, and everyone telling Miz he's on his own, and they, all that shit happened, and then there was a Kalisto Drew Gulak match. Kalisto won in a minute. Then we had our main event of the evening, Alexa Bliss defending the Raw Women's Championship against Mickie James, further signaling that WWE is mailing in third hours for the last 5 weeks by putting, this match on. I didn't see it, so I'm going to hand it over to you guys, but I hear it ended with pure, unadulterated ridiculousness. So we ended matches with punches to the face, and it's not the Big Show now?
Apparently so. Like, apparently not, seeing that Alexa, literally every match she's in, she is, like, punching above her weight class. For her to have that kind of knockout strength, like, it's a real Manny Pacquiao type shit. It's amazing. But, you alluded to this with the 5 weeks in a row. Like, they've done this not one, not two, 3 enough. 3 ain't even enough, bro. I need 5. And this has just been... This has been really bad. But, I mean, it was relatively over until the match went further along, and then, like, Alexa slapped on a headlock, slapped on a rest hold that went for 2 minutes, literally 2 minutes. And, like, the crowd started chanting CM Punk. You tell Nikki was upset, wasn't happy about that. But they got to a point where the match started to pick up, and then boom, the WMD.
Jeremy, so these Alexa Bliss matches, like, how are you enjoying all these?
I'm not really enjoying them that much at all. There are so many talented women on the main roster and at NXT, and the women we've seen in the Mae Young Classic. And then you see Alexa Bliss, and the push she's getting is like, why? Like, I get it. She is good on the promo. She's a good promo, but that's about it. And the bell rings, and she has to go out there and try to put on a match. And luckily, she gets put in there with people like Mickie and Sasha and Bailey, who are great workers and can, try their best to, salvage some kind of, match. But there's only so much they can do. And Alexa has gotten better in the ring after working with these ladies, but she's still not to the level that we want after all the great stuff we saw in NXT and, stuff we've seen in the Mae Young Classic and, stuff we see at, Shine and Shimmer. Like, there's so many great women's wrestlers out there that are putting in these great matches, and they're just, putting all their eggs in one basket with Alexa Bliss, who is not that great in the ring. And honestly, I don't understand why, what's their whole game plan with her and how long they plan on keeping her champion when you have women on the roster that are great at promos and great workers. Mickie James can cut a great promo, and she's a great worker. Sasha can cut a great promo, could be a great worker. Like, why are we not having Sasha versus Mickie in our women's championship feud?
Yeah. I think I mentioned this on a past show, but it was I was hoping Mickie James would win the championship because Mickie versus almost anybody else in the division would be a better match. And I've been tough on Alexa Bliss pretty much the whole year, and I've really felt justified over the time because it hasn't been to the level that Charlotte and Sasha had it last year, and I don't know if this is fair necessarily to hold Alexa Bliss to that standard, but it is what it is. We saw it; it exists. They were main eventing at pay-per-views. They weren't just thrown on as a sacrifice at the end of Raw because they don't care. These are not the same things. Do you remember the matches that were closing Raw last year with Charlotte and Sasha? Match of the year matches. Yeah. Didn't one of those TV matches win our match of the year on our TV match of the year?
TV, the one in Charlotte, the no DQ match or Street Fight or whatever it was, that was in Charlotte. Yeah, I think that one did. Yeah.
Right. I feel very comfortable in saying Alexa Bliss ain't sniffing a match in a year.
No.
And another thing that annoys me is the whole NXT system is supposed to be, part of it is, getting these, guys and ladies ready for the main roster and, teaching them how to work and how to have good matches. If you look at the NXT women's roster, you have, girls like Ember Moon and, Peyton Royce and Nikki Cross that are, that are at a way higher level skill level than Alexa Bliss. Why is Bliss on the main roster when you have, great workers down in NXT? I feel like it should be the other way around.
What were those names again that you just mentioned? You said Nikki Cross, Ruby Riott, and who else?
Ember Moon and Peyton Royce.
Well, aside from Peyton Royce, I think you have an answer. Vince or whoever else believes that it's a aesthetic thing.
Yeah,
and that's unfortunate because it's supposed to be it's a work shoot. So you're supposed to portray it anybody can be looks at the matter as a competition amongst the best in the world in competition. It doesn't really matter about aesthetics, but that's when you heard all the rumors and talk about how management thought about what the women look like in the Mae Young Classic, and it's just they claim that they're taking steps forward and they have done stuff they did put on that tournament, but at the same time they're still behind in certain instances, and that's one of them.
And I think Meltzer wrote something interesting in the Observer that I need to find and share with you guys. It was about Summer Rae and her release, and the things that no one will ever say, but this is the mindset that he was revealing in it. With Summer Rae, she was 30. I believe she's 33 right now, right? And when she was signed back in, she used to be in the Lingerie Football League, and she was the face of the league and all that, right? And WWE supposedly, was going to make her a big superstar. She was supposed to be one of the ones, right? And if you guys remember, she was Sasha and Charlotte, they were in a group in NXT called the BFFs.
Bad Girls Club?
No, they were
BFF.
The
right.
beautiful,
BFFs,
fierce females. And she was supposed to be the star. Not Sasha, not Charlotte, but Summer Rae.
You know what they end up looking like?
What?
They end up looking like Miz and Daniel Bryan on NXT talking about that. You know, you're my rookie. Okay.
Right. I thought it'd be more Gangrel and Edge and Christian, but that too.
Well, yeah, that too as well. Yeah, sure. Rude.
But yeah, there's there's a part I'm looking for it right here. I'm stalling right now, but they the weird thing with it was.
You out here trying to fill time to find that thing. Like, dude, those Meltzer newsletters are all like 35,000 words. You gonna find it? You better put in Control F and find it and try to find her name.
All right,
right? Yeah,
he was saying
for a while.
The truth, like Summer Rae's 33 now, right? And it was in April 2013. Like she basically like started coming out. So he said the truth when it came to her is something nobody will say and can say. But they thought she was thought to be a superstar because of her looks, and it was the hot young blonde girl looked like Stacy Keibler, but she got older. And when you're super hot, and then they decide that you aren't, and every role is based on you being the next Stacy Keibler, and it didn't happen, this is the end result. Wow. I read that and I was like, ooh. And then he was basically relating it to Emma, Darren Young, and Summer Rae. He was like, in all three cases, it was injuries that derailed their careers, and with the women, a little bit of getting older in a young woman's game.
But the thing is, like, so like the part that I don't understand. I mean, and granted, like, it's not like Summer Rae was exactly. It's not like she was exactly Ember Moon in the ring, right? But or Natalia, whoever else you want to name. But the thing that I don't get is, all right, she's quote unquote old, even though you threw her in a WWE movie like 2 years ago. Okay, she's old now, right? Why in the world, like, if that's the case, then like, why did you bring back Mickie James?
Yep.
And like, why are you giving her a push at that? And then also, like, why are you also hiring Tamina, who's older than all of them?
That's a good point.
And they just, signed Shayna Baszler, who's pretty, quote unquote old. And
I think the deal is like the whole thing with those the women you named and what Meltzer was saying was Summer Rae's whole thing was based on her look. Like Shayna Baszler has other stuff going for her. Tamina has like the family history kind of deal, and to me that's
I do get that. I guess I do get that, but my point is, if your whole thing is the only reason why I signed her is because she's hot, and now she's like 2% less hot because she aged, which is like bullshit, right? Then like, why did you bring back Mickie James at all? Because like one.
I guess she's a legend.
I understand Mickie James is has done a million things more than Summer Rae has ever done in this business, but she's also damn near 40,
right?
And she's also like killing herself to stay in that shape right now.
And she had a kid.
Yeah, that real bounce back. So it's real interesting when you start.
Hold on. Did you say bounce back or snap back?
I said that real bounce back.
Okay, either way, you're a fool.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about SmackDown a little bit. We had Nakamura go over Kevin Owens, and we all had that 2 out of 3 falls with Ziggler and Rude. When is Dolph Ziggler just going to quit? What's the point?
Checks.
Correct, I guess. I feel like I say this every year. Ziggler needs to just walk on them and be like, you know what, I'm done.
I think the first time you said that was like the beginning of last year. I think you're like, yeah, man, he needs to just go. And then like he brought, he's got himself over again, like right at the brand split when he became a number one contender. And then like the whole Miz thing, And then, they turn him heel, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And, we've been at, what the fuck is this for like 6 months now?
And I listened to Wrestling Observer Radio, I think either this morning or yesterday, and they were talking about, Meltzer says, a lot of guys he talks to who leave WWE eventually talk about, when they're there, they're brainwashed. And he, feels like Ziggler is one of these guys who are, are brainwashed. Like, they're, get, this WWE, speech about, how we're number one, it's the only place you can work, it's the only place you can get over, and, you're not, there's nowhere out there for you to make it, and they, drink the Kool-Aid and keep on signing and just stay with WWE forever. And,
forever.
There's a lot of, forever. There's a lot of guys on the roster, who are afraid to leave. And but then you have the ones that do finally leave, like Cody Rhodes. They stop drinking the Kool-Aid and they go out there and start making money.
Yeah, like maybe for Ziggler, like I guess it's just all good for him. Like he, decides like I'm good where I'm at. I don't need to, I don't need that life. Sleeping in them hotels and. The non-5-star hotels that I'll be in, city to city, getting it how I live, essentially.
I just thought about now.
What's up?
Okay, the way that Jeremy just described that in like such unromantic terms, it made me think of Shawshank Redemption. When the old man Brooks got out,
God damn it!
And then Brooks, like basically what Jeremy is saying is like once you've been in WWE for so long, for the most of your like adult life, like you have literally been institutionalized. You don't know, you ain't got no skills. You don't know how to survive out on your own. So if you decide to finally leave, you might be scared or you don't want to leave. So you end up like in Orange is the New Black, where Tacey got out in the first season and ended right back in because she had no soft skills. So, like Brooks, where Brooks, he's working at he's
man himself.
He's basically like trying to work at. He basically just trying to work it. It ain't working out, and then that man's hanging from a support column, and then they scratching his name. Brooks was here. Like that's. Basically, like you end up at WWE too long, like you don't want to wrestle there no more. You might as well throw yourself over the manager. It's over.
Oh my gosh! What do we make of Shane McMahon naming himself team captain for SmackDown? I think this is the last thing we really need to talk about on this show.
I mean, for me, I was pretty much expecting it. Big 4 pay-per-views, they have to have Shane McMahon on. And with Kurt Angle being the Raw captain, they were going to play up on that, I figured. And at this point, it's like, whatever. They're going to do what they want to do with Shane. Shane has to be featured in a big match in every big 4 pay-per-view. It's like, whatever. Like, have this man come out here throwing his weak punches and stiffing people and taking crazy bumps and getting concussed. And it's like, whatever.
Oh, man. James, are you shocked by this?
No, I'm not, and it's actually tying up in line with what I'm expecting, what I've sort of forecast for him, which is to like a slow burn heel turn, and hopefully it does actually in fact lead to Daniel Bryan versus Shane at WrestleMania, because like I'll tell you this right now, the second that Daniel Bryan comes back and is confirmed, I'm going to react like the GIF I just sent you, Antonio Banderas, when he saw that good news on the computer, on that laptop. And he sees it, and just, ooh, boy. Like, it's going to feel so good.
Yeah, I believe I said that I would even take a, to get Daniel Bryan back, I'll even deal with him wrestling against Shane McMahon if that does happen. I don't know why they feel the need to put him in the Survivor Series match. Like, he's the general manager, so he has to fight for his brand. I don't get it.
I think they're just using it as an excuse because they're like, well, we got to sell a second match. Yeah, it was like if Kurt never was in the Shield match, he would have been in this, and that's what would have been their draw, was Shane versus Kurt and Kurt's back's against the wall. I think that's how originally the plan was. But like, the top guy, the face that runs the place, nowadays he's if you will, always missing these crucial moments. So like they had to have him come in the field. So like how many more weeks is Roman going to miss?
Supposedly he's supposed to be back not next week but the week after.
That's not the go home show, is it?
I believe that's the go home show.
Yeah, I think he's scheduled to be back on the go home show.
So let me get this right. This dude misses time as he becomes a singles wrestler, and they're trying to fast track that dude to win the title at like 3 months after he becomes 6 months after he becomes a singles wrestler, right?
Yeah.
For the first time, right?
All right.
Okay. Then he's a champion, and they have to take the belt off him because he catches a PED charge, right?
Right.
And they were trying to get this dude something to do over the rest of the year, during the worst time of the year, so that he can be hot going into WrestleMania season, so that he eventually, gets coordinated for the fourth straight time in WrestleMania, right?
Right.
Like, what? Like, does he have to murder somebody in broad daylight not to get pushed anymore, or not to be pushed to this extent? Like, he botched the Shield reunion, and he also is like nowhere to be found for Survivor Series.
Oh man. Yeah. I think Roman
can we just turn him heel, please? Please? Please?
There are no heels and faces, James. Shades of gray, pal. Shades of gray.
If he's a heel to you, he's a heel. Yeah, man. I've been ready for Roman Reigns to turn so we can just boo the shit out of him and get it over with, and then he can turn. It's like they have the answer and they refuse to use it. Like all he has to do is come back and say, "I'm not down with how y'all was replacing me on we were supposed to be brothers. I don't care if y'all had to fight 2-on-5, but y'all ain't supposed to be replacing me with Kurt Angle. Y'all ain't supposed to be replacing me with Triple H. Triple H, he's the one that broke us up in the first place, and he should pretty much turn."
I think you could be like, I don't care if y'all got to wrestle 2-on-5. This is one versus all.
Yes.
What?
Yes. I would have fought on myself.
Look, he should just turn on him and said it like that and be like, wait, and then you have a face, you have like, they cut back and they show Seth Rollins' face after he says it, like, wait, what? That makes no sense.
Yeah, man, but that's all Roman got to do is fuck up the Shield reunion and he'll get booed. It's not a situation where, everyone's just waiting to cheer him if he turns. Nah, let him fuck the Shield reunion up. I've been saying this for a while. I think that's the ticket for him to really get booed.
If he really wants to get booed, all he has to do, he didn't have to do mess up the Shield reunion. If he had just ever turned on Dean Ambrose, that would have been the biggest thing ever. Yeah. That would have been incredible for him.
Yeah.
Like, all the stuff Dean Ambrose did for this man. Look, Dean Ambrose came to say, how many times Dean Ambrose say this man?
Plenty times. Like, these guys, like, I don't know, man, but yeah, I think that's a great place to wrap it up. But yeah, man, Jeremy, thanks for coming on the show with us. If you want to let folks know where they can find you at.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Jeremy L. Donovan. Always check out socialsuplex.com. Follow Social Suplex at Social Suplex.
For sure, man. James, any last words?
None. Yeah, you can check me out at JamesBoyd87 on Twitter. A lot of jokes, a lot of funny stuff, good times. I ain't really here for like the serious. I'm more here for the funny, as you can tell. So check me out.
Yeah, and make sure you guys check out the SMC podcast, also on our feed. Good guys over there, Caleb Rance and Carl. Make sure you guys give their show a good listen. A little bit different from ours, but you'll enjoy it as well.
Little bit, huh?
Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Look, they're on that other side of the spectrum, if you will.
It's a little bit different from ours, yeah. But yeah, the good brothers over there, you know. And you can find me at RichLadder32, Ladder's Lariat column series just hit number 30. Been writing, gonna keep writing till something happens.
Yeah, but back to real quick. Back to just to give jabs to the SFC podcast. Yeah, the SFC podcast is the other side of the coin. Literally the other side of the coin. Look, one of these days, I'm gonna buy I'm gonna make a T-shirt and I'm gonna post it on the front of our as like the logo for one of our outgoing podcasts. It's gonna say #Free Caleb.
Damn, that boy's held hostage over there on the wrong side. Yeah. Oh man, yeah, but make sure you guys subscribe to the show, do ratings, reviews, all that. We need that. We need to know, you know, what you guys think. 5-star ratings. If you can find a way to go over 5 stars, please do, because we are surely worth it. Yeah, but that's gonna wrap it up. Peace.
Later.